What's up, everybody? Welcome back. What we got today is a bunch of different motors sitting around, but this is a 6.6 liter. It's a LT iron block. They're still pretty new. Not many people messing with these just yet, but we got a couple. And what are you doing right now?
Doing an internal inspection of the cylinder walls and the piston itself.
Okay. And these are brand new?
Brand new motors.
Just checking it out, huh?
Yeah, just making sure everything's where it's supposed to be.
Cool. Yeah, so the 6.6 makes 19 horsepower less than your 6.2, like the one that's right here. This is a 6.2 L86. The 6.6 makes, I think, 9 more foot-pounds of torque, something like that. It weighs 120 pounds more. But it does got some benefits for the hot rodders out there. It does not have DOD.
No.
So you don't have to worry about DOD delete. It still does have the VVT. And from what I've read, these motors respond pretty good with an intake swap and a cam swap with some headers. And that'll put you probably a little bit past the 6.2 L86. Now, with it being a cast iron block, you've got a little bit more strength in that block. So these will probably make some pretty good little turbo motors if you want to turbo something or supercharge something. It does come with lower compression than the 6.2, and it also comes with lower the compression than the 5.3. The 5.3 actually has more compression than this motor, but lower compression could be good for the supercharger or turbo. So yeah, it may make some pretty good little hot rod engines for some people.
And if you see that right there, they're not flat tops. They actually got a dish in them.
So they got a little dish,
Which means you can run a big cam. You can run probably a 640 lift cam in this thing.
These are 10 8-to-1.
See that cut right there in it?
Yeah.
That's a valve release. That means you can run a bigger cam.
Yeah, these are 10 8-to-1 compression. The 6.2 is 11 5-to-1, and then the LT 5.3 is just 11-to-1. So these do come with a forged steel crank, like the 6.2 does, and then your 5.3 obviously comes with a cast crank. So it's a good strong motor if you're okay with the extra weight. 120 pounds probably ain't gonna make a whole lot of difference, depending on what you're putting it in. And like I said, for the hot rod guy that doesn't want DOD, I mean, DOD delete. You're gonna get into it. You're gonna do a cam. You're gonna do lifters. You're going to do phaser. I mean, you're probably looking at another $1,000 in your build. So this will save you about $1,000 going with the 6.6. And, I mean, cast iron block, I mean, they from the factory, they don't look too cool. They get real nasty and rusty. Here's another one. This is a brand new engine, never been started. And that's kind of what the cast iron block does. But once my dad puts his hands on it with his paint skills, these look just like the aluminum blocks that we mess with now. So not a lot of difference. But yeah, every motor we do, we scope them, we check them out if the heads ain't coming off, just to make sure there's no internal issues. And we can run this thing, through the spark plug, exhaust port, intake port. You can actually, the one we have is so small, you can actually run it down the where the injectors go.
Yeah, here's what it looks like right here.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
And then this one has a dual camera, so it's got a camera on the end, and then it's got another camera. You can switch this camera. There's the other camera, so it's a pretty cool little setup.
Yeah.
So we've been just kind of doing busy work, just kind of throwing some stuff together, having to find bolts and parts. Since we don't do a whole lot of LSs anymore, it's hard to find. And man, I really hate putting this intake on this thing. It was a cool looking motor, now it's ugly again. I've got to unbox this Circle D converter and get it on the transmission. And then we had a little delivery here. We got a little twin turbo kit I think is going to be going on this one right now. So we just got a lot of busy stuff, and I haven't been filming very much. Okay, so we got the Circle D converter here. This is going on that 6 liter. And Let's see what we got. They give you a free koozie. It's cool. There's the converter. And installation tips. So they give us some Loctite and converter bolts. All right, so I filled it up with about a half a quart of fluid. We've got the spline greased up. We got the snouts greased up. This is a 3,000 to 3,200 stall converter from Circle D. And you have to have that stall because that Howard cam that's in that 6 liter needs that stall converter. So these line up a little bit different than the LTs that you've seen me do. These have those grooves right there in the snout. And you basically just kind of look up in here, and once again, you probably can't see it, but see that little square piece way back in there, and then you'll have another one right there. So you just orientate that, line that up, shove it on without making a mess. And I'm gonna go ahead and get a rag ready because we are gonna make a mess. There we go. So, nailed it first try. Sometimes you get lucky, and it did look like we made a mess. So that's what the forged crank looks like there in a brand new 6.6. So this one's never been started. So we're getting ready to put the a pan on it. We're rounding up bolts. Today's just been terrible. I got this thing almost all together. We got to get it up in the air so I can put a flywheel on it, so I can put the transmission on it. But today's just been about trying to figure out what bolts go where. These came down stripped with nothing on them. So the majority of our day, at least the last 3 hours, has been rummaging through bolts, trying to find the right bolts for the brackets to get everything bolted on. So that's a problem when we only do LSs about once a year. So I'm nearing the end of the line for this one, hopefully pretty soon. All I got to do now is plug wires and these headers over here. I know I didn't film a whole lot of the process. It's this thing's followed us every way, from trying to find bolts to trying to find parts, and it's just difficult to film when you're trying to do all that. What I'm really wanting to show is I got the CVF kit to put on this 6.6, and then we're gonna try to mock up this. It's a twin turbo kit. We're gonna try to mock up these twin turbos. All right, all finished up. This is a 6 liter iron block Howard cam, Circle D 3,000 to 3,200 stall converter, Speed Engineering headers, and the color on this one was antique nickel, black stock front accessory kit, stock intake. So finally all finished up, heading down the street. Kind of glad to see it go. Wasn't fun on this one. So we'll see what we can get into next. All right, everybody, so it's redemption hour. We're trying to put something together here. So I got the water pump sandwich. You've all seen that 1,000 times. But you ain't seen it on a 6.6 yet. So we got the water pump sandwich on. We got the normal CVF kit that y'all have all seen a lot of us doing this. But we're just trying to put a video together. Yeah, that LS we sent down the road was a battle. That thing fought us, and it wasn't hard. I mean, we can build an L if you give me the right bolts.
Yeah, I know.
Right? If you give me the bolts that I need, I can build an LS in my sleep. So
It's looking real good, man.
yeah, so we're staying late.
Yeah.
We want to try to put something together. For one, for the YouTube, for the people of the YouTube, we're doing pretty good. We got some people following us. We got some people watching us. All right, so we got our normal CVF kit put on. We got our intake on without the adapter plates, obviously. You see the big gap. But the issue I'm having is we got this turbo kit. It's a twin turbo kit. I figured they'd be front mounted because that'd be the way I would do it. But they hit everything. So then I switched them over to rear mounted. And the only way it'd work is if you don't even have a transmission hooked up to the car.
Why?
It's going to require some major fabrication to make it work because the way the flanges are. If you notice these flanges, for a front-mounted kit, these flanges would sit. Let's see if I can make it work here. There we go. So for a front-mounted kit, this flange here would actually be flat like my hand is. So the turbo could sit up, right? So the way this flange is now, the turbo's sitting sideways. You would want your turbo with your hot side facing towards the back of the car, cold side, which is right here, facing the front of the car. And currently the way this kit is set up, unless I'm missing something, once again, it just came in a box with no instructions. I don't think this is going to work. I think this needs to maybe return to sender. So this is a jumbled up video. I do apologize. It's been a hell of a day. Dad's pretty much just given up over there at this point. It's been rough, right?
Yep.
Yeah, been rough. So we got one LS out, which is great.
Done.
We got one LT close to being done. I'm not digging the turbo kit.
Nope.
The CVF kit turned out good. For the first time ever, we did actually break a bolt on the CVF kit. Not exactly sure why it broke. This one goes right here on this idler pulley. And yeah, just normal tightening it up. It snapped right off. But luckily we had extra ones, so we popped another one in. No big deal, but that's kind of weird. I think the highlight of this whole day, you're looking at it. It's the bed of the truck. That turned out good. that's the saving grace of the day. You did great on the bed of the truck. Cheers, buddy. You did good. Everything else, but the rest of the stuff it's late. It's late enough in the video. I think I can say it. It's been a shit show. Yeah. So what does the turkey think about the turbo kit? Turkey doesn't like the turbo kit. Yeah, me neither. It doesn't fit right, does it, Turkey? So yeah. So I think we're gonna end it tonight. It's getting late. We've all had enough. And oh my goodness, yeah, we could have used that earlier on that LS. So, well, there you go. Well, that's it for us. We're done. It's been a rough one. Like, subscribe, share, ring the notification bell. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.